Welcome back to UK Boating. Now I remember the very first time I was asked to steer one of our 60-foot boats and how daunting that experience was. Today we're going to the Surrey Care Trust where we're going to meet some youngsters who have experienced just that. Surrey Care Trust has been in operation for about 30 years and it's evolved over the years, and we're now very much focused on skills and training and education. So we work with young people and disadvantaged people right across Surrey with learning centres for young people and programmes that bring adults back into learning. Well, Swingbridge 1 is one because it's our original boat and we've had her for 10 years, and we've used her for trips in the summer for disadvantaged groups, community groups, and in the winter she's very much used for training and skills, bringing people into the boat to learn skills on boat handling and to learn a little bit about the rivers and the environment that we're in, and to upskill our crews so that they're ready for delivering the trips the following summer. Well, we've got about 55 volunteers now from a whole range of backgrounds. So some are retired professional people, some are unemployed, some are homeless, and some are recovering from drug and alcohol addictions or mental health problems. So there's a lot of supportive things going on between volunteers, and they're all doing the same training programmes. Henry, when did you start as a volunteer?
2007. Summer 2007, yeah.
And what made you join up?
I got told about it and I was going through a pretty bad time, and I come and see Margaret, and I've been here ever since, and I ended up as a skipper.
They can come to us with no experience at all. Volunteers can join us never having been on a boat before, or we encourage people to come who've got their own boats and perhaps know a little bit as well, so they can help the others. So there's a lot of mutual support going on. So what's made you stick around?
Because I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I mean, today was a good example, you know, for the children we had today, and see when they first come this morning how they were and how they left. It's two different, you know, different people altogether. Today
we had a group from Fremantle's school in Woking, which is a special needs school for young people with autism, and these were 16, 17-year-olds who are coming to the end of their schooling there, who are all quite autistic, but verbal, so they're communicating young people, and we taught them how to handle the boat. Today's course on Swingbridge 1 was what we call our one-day course, and it's about boat handling really. It's for people who come for about 4 hours, and they have a taste of helping to open up the boat, to drive the boat, to take it up to a mooring, to go through a lock, to tie some knots, and they get to a little bit of feel of how the boat operates. So it's really a taster, and then we hope that people will come back and do a bit more training in depth as a follow-on from that. Lou, what's your role been as skipper on the boat today?
Well, basically, I suppose it's just to make sure that everything runs smoothly and nothing goes wrong. It's as simple as that.
That sounds like a good plan, definitely.
Yeah.
So how long have you been skipper here?
I think something like 8 or 9 years. I've lost track.
Okay, so how many trips have you done sort of over the year, this year?
It tends to be, I tend to go one a week, so it'll be for what, 3 months now, the summer period. Well, the summer period, it's usually taking disabled people out on trips, and more in the winter period we take it's more training for youngsters who've either been excluded from school or who have difficulties of some form or other. I mean, the group today were autistic, but I've had various different sorts of people.
The one-day course can be really good for team building, so they're doing stuff together. There's about 7 or 8 come together. They have to pull together and help each other. They learn how to listen, they learn how to do something new, which gives them confidence and a bit of an oomph to their self-esteem and makes them feel good about themselves. And they have a lot of fun. They bring their picnics and they enjoy themselves. Fantastic, guys. So you've had a day on the boat and you've got your certificates. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Oh yeah, we're fine.
And what have you learnt today?
Steering the canal boats.
So you've done locks and steering.
Yeah.
And did you help open the boat up and shut it down?
Yeah, we is trying to practicing. Yeah.
And do you think you'd come back again?
Yes.
Yeah, we would try.
Swingbridge is based here at Daptune Wharf, which is owned by the National Trust, and the National Trust own the River Wey. It's the only river in the country that they own, and they're very kind to let us use their wharf for all our trips in the summer and to be moored here. and we move up and down the riverway between Godalming and Weybridge. We have a second boat, Swingbridge 2, which was built 3 years ago, a bespoke work boat, because we've been using Swingbridge 1 for work in the winter and it was getting trashed every winter. So now we have a bespoke work boat, and she's based on the River Wey in the summer and moves up onto the Thames for 6 months this winter. So we're working with lots of stakeholders and partners on environmental work. Our volunteers on Swingbridge 2 come from all walks of life. They could be recovering from mental health problems, alcohol, drug addiction, or just need some support. And there's a lot of camaraderie and good spirit going on the boat. They support each other and they learn skills. The environmental work is very broad-based. We can do bankside restoration work. We're using traditional methods with hazel. We've done some fencing, we've built corrals, we do coppicing, we do a lot of litter picking and removal, all sorts of, quite varied. The Surrey Care Trust has to raise quite a lot of money for the whole trust every year, and Swingbridge is one programme, and Swingbridge is supported through the voluntary sector, so we apply to grant-making trusts and we're putting in bids for some salary costs, but we always welcome any support that anyone can give us for our boat programme. So as you've seen today, we've had a group of young people who've had a terrific time. They've learnt something about the rivers and the waterways and the River Wey and Dapdune Wharf and the National Trust and the Surrey Care Trust. And our volunteers have had a great time training them and have had a really good feeling about giving something back to the community, so it's all worked very well.
It's prize draw time now, and our friends at Wacky Practicals are giving us 5 brilliantly portable collapsible kettles. This ingenious device packs up to fit into the tiniest of spaces, meaning you never have to go without your favourite brew again. You can enter totally free via the prize draw page at uk-boating.tv. Entries must be received by midnight on Sunday the 6th of November. Good luck!
Now I can empathise with all boat owners as to how difficult it is to keep our furniture on board looking good after years of wear and tear and the damp atmosphere. Let's go and meet a specialist who might be able to help us out with this.
Our company's been going for 23 years, specialising in made-to-measure furnishings for caravans, motor caravans, and in particular boats as well, narrow boats, inland cruisers, and we do a range of furnishings according to what each boat owner might require. Often a boat owner will come to us where they have perhaps an older boat and the furnishings are looking rather tired and dilapidated and old-fashioned, such as this one that's just come in. So what we've done in this particular customer's case is, because they didn't have any comfort left in the cushions as well, we actually made brand new cushions to replicate the originals. So they've chosen a high-density foam, a nice vinyl covering both sides, and a contrast piping to really set off the shapes. A lot of boat owners will have cushions reupholstered after a certain number of years that they've had the boat themselves, or maybe they've just bought the boat and they just want to make it more their own rather than living with what somebody else perhaps chose many years ago. We use fabrics that we know are going to be durable in a damp atmosphere that you might have on a boat. Anything from something fairly waterproof like a vinyl to a removable washable cover, even to fabrics that are fade resistant that to try and stop the effects of the sun. And we would tend to use a nylon rather than a metal zip in order to prevent any problems in that area. Another way that we can cover somebody's original boat cushions is, instead of permanently upholstering them, we can actually make made-to-measure washable covers, and they can still be made to fit the various shapes and sizes that are needed on a boat cushion. And nowadays they can also be buttoned to make them look more like fitted upholstery, but they're buttoned in such a way that they have removable buttons that can be taken off so that the whole cover can still be washed. And nowadays, I'm pleased to say, rather than the old nylon covers that used to ladder just by looking at them, nowadays they're 100% polyester, so they're much more durable. The option of making the made-to-measure removable washable covers is a lot less expensive than the permanent upholstery way of doing things on a boat. Boat owners have quite specific requirements, from chamfered cushions that need to be curved to the curvature of the hull, to cushions that maybe have to have flaps with press studs that would attach it to the wall. So whatever is required for that particular boat, that's what we do. A lot of boat owners will come to our showroom down in Bristol because that way they can then see all the various fabrics that we have available and try out the different foams that we have for them to try and sit on and lie on. But if that's not possible, if they live too far away, then wherever they are in the UK, we're able to collect their cushions from their house using our nationwide cushion collection service. The degree of cost that applies to what we might do for a boat owner very much depends on what it is they're actually having done. I mean, on a smaller boat with just a few cushions that might want some washable covers made for it might only be as little as £200 or £300. But obviously on a larger boat with a lot of cushions made brand new with new high density foam, permanent upholstery, set of curtains as well, then the cost is obviously going to come out considerably more. All of the fabrics and the foam that we use all come from reputable suppliers where we know that they're going to last and they're going to be durable and give our customers a decent length of life out of what we've made for them. It doesn't necessarily add anything greatly to the value of the boat, but it just means that they've got what they want and it's theirs rather than living with what someone else gave them. One of our more unusual jobs was a couple of years ago we were approached by Sir Robin Knox Johnston's organisation that run the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race, and we were fortunate to win the contract to supply brand new cushions and mattresses for all 10 of their round the world yachts, and we had our work cut out getting everything done in time to get it ready for the start of the race. And we've actually then made a few more recently because some of those got lost overboard during the first race. Rather than a customer perhaps living with what the boat came out of the factory with originally or what maybe somebody else did as a previous owner, without spending an absolute fortune, rather than changing the boat, we can really transform their interior and make it a much more pleasant place to live.
Well, that's it for another show. I've really enjoyed meeting everyone today and seeing the stunning scenery along the River Wey. Don't forget, if you want to catch up on previous episodes, do visit our website and leave us a comment on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, happy cruising.